Well, Andrew Yang's giveaway is gaining some serious traction with potential voters out there. The presidential hopeful's campaign says over 450,000 people have entered the online raffle for the $120,000 giveaway to 10 random families that he announced at the last debate. That's according to Politico. Guys, a lot of people were talking about this and whether or not this was even legal. Mostly those issues were kind of walked back when we talk about what's actually going on here, but clearly working to exactly what this was supposed to do, which is drive interest back to Andrew Yang's website.
Yeah, we saw some candidates say we're going to give you free college, others say, free healthcare. Now they're just saying we're just going to give you free money, period. We're giving you money. I think Yang is an interesting candidate in the sense that he's not getting as much media coverage as I think he deserves. He's polling about 6 in the Real Clear Politics national average. He's 13th in media coverage. I think a lot of national media kind of takes him as a joke. And he's not a joke. He's a serious candidate. I've spoken to hundreds of young voters in the past few months on different campuses. I can tell you he has the most enthusiastic supporters of any of them that I've met. Also interesting to point out, President Trump really did motivate a lot of people's fears in 2016, talking to older generations, maybe kind of capitalizing on their fears. One thing that really scares young voters is automation in the future, and Andrew Yang is capitalizing on the fear that a lot of young people have about not having jobs in the future due to automation. He's making that one of the core platform issues for him. I think that's a very smart strategy for getting millennial voters.
And quickly, with Andrew Yang, I mean, he's not getting a lot of mainstream coverage in the news, but he's gotten a lot of traction on social media. I mean, Zack, every time you tweet about Andrew Yang, I mean, things are going crazy on it. So, I mean, we have to keep in mind that his user or his followers are very engaged, and when you think about almost like this idea of the Instagram influencer, the social media influencer, I mean, what these types of influencers love the most are contests. So this is a perfect example of something that's kind of getting his audience engaged and is kind of contributing, I think, to some of the momentum that he's getting, not just on Twitter, but with people actually behind those Twitter accounts, with possible voters.
Yeah, it's the reason why Facebook took off as a giant company, is because as advertising works, you can spend a bunch of money on TV ads, but if you're not capturing that person, you can go back to him and say, hey, look, now we need to raise some money. It's a lot easier when you have 450,000 people hitting up your site saying this is where you can contact me.
Also, really smart messaging in the way they're selling it. The campaign, they're not saying it's a giveaway necessarily. They're not saying, well, this plan to give 1,000 Americans, we're just going to give you this money. They're calling it the freedom dividend.
Yes.
Anytime you could throw the word freedom on something, much easier to sell to voters. I think that kind of quells a lot of their fears. But yeah, interesting candidate to keep an eye on. I think he's going to start to get more mainstream coverage as the candidate, because he does have staying power. I think as the campaign goes on, he's going to stick around a lot longer than people expect.
No, for sure. And as you know, not a lot of mainstream coverage. He spoke the least out of everybody on the stage in the last debate, despite, as you said, polling pretty much in line with those tier 2 candidates.